Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. 14 days after Grenada's June 23rd elections, the Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell firmed up arrangements for the payment of pension. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 12th July 2022. Details when we return.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. The recently concluded general elections in Grenada, which saw the end of Keith Mitchell's bid for his One for the Road election, as if to continue to mimic his perpetual last term until he can find a successor for the party he has been leading since 1989, resulted in a rejection by the people. The then main opposition, Deacon Mitchell-led National Democratic Congress NDC party, presented concrete plans and projected programs to take the nation out of poverty, revamping and improving health care, making education more appropriate to the needs of our people, and thus bring them in line with our developmental trajectory, cleaning up the public service and making it more efficient through genuine productivity, focusing heavily on the productive sectors, putting our youthful population to work with purpose, eradicating contract work and regularizing all public sector workers, and most importantly, settling the pension issue which has dogged retired government employees for years. On all counts, a vast majority of the electors favored the opposition's transformative agenda and elected them 9 seats to the then incumbents' 6. It has always been said that the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And so upon taking office officially, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell has been making the round, touching base with constituents and likely recipients of such areas of serious promises to shore up his administration's intentions to honor the commitments made during the campaign. At a meeting called on Friday last between the Government of Grenada and the various trades union and staff associations regarding pension and gratuity plan for the period 1985 to the present, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell gave a firm commitment to uphold the pension judgment for teachers and public officers and to commence retroactive payments to retired teachers and public officers for the period 1985 to the present. This includes the payment to the estate of eligible teachers and public officers between 1985 and the present who have since passed on. November 30th, 2022 was given as the date for which the commencement of the retroactive payments to pensioners will take place. A release which clearly was written with glee by the Grenada Union of Teachers dated Friday 8th July 2022 revealed that the meeting was held with cordiality, with the government reaffirming the right of people who are eligible to get their pension to receive same. One senior public officer remarked that the atmosphere within the entire public service is light and they feel confident that they are now dealing with a decent and honorable administration which can positively impact industrial relations going forward. In other news, over 50 police officers in Trinidad and Tobago have been suspended so far this year. This confirmation is coming from Acting Commissioner of Police MacDonald Jacob. He was speaking at the official opening of the St. Clair Police Station over the weekend. TV6's Renessa Cutting has more.
For the year 2022 already, over 50 police officers have been suspended from the police service.
Well, we have 52 officers who have been suspended so far for this year, and 16 officers were charged and placed before the court. And we have about 8 officers at presently on desk duty.
The offences range from misbehaviour in public office to human trafficking and other serious offences. Meantime, the Minister of National Security is asking the public to trust the process as the investigation into Saturday's police-involved shooting remains active.
The very sarcastic among our society will say, well, if the police is involved in the shooting or a shooting and they have to investigate it, that's a problem. I'll say 2 things. The law establishes that the Police Complaints Authority will treat with matters that the public raise concerning police conduct. And secondly, these eyes have seen many occasions over all of my conscious life where police officers who go contrary to the law have been investigated, have been prosecuted, and dealt with in accordance with the laws by the same police service. So I am not afraid insofar as that is concerned, but for the outcome of the investigation, we must wait.
The National Security Minister also commented on Monday's protest action. He says intelligence has revealed who was behind the incident.
Therefore, we have no doubt that there would have been some political dimension to it.
Vanessa Cutting, TV6 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. In the meantime, the National Security Minister of Trinidad and Tobago says it will be foolhardy of him to say whether the government would support the nomination of Gary Griffith as the next police commissioner if such a nomination goes before the Parliament. This as the Police Service Commission completes its reviews of the tenure of the former police commissioner who wants to be the top cop again. Jewel Brown of TV6 News reports.
In a statement late Friday evening, the Police Service Commission said it hopes to complete the process for the appointment of a Commissioner of Police by the end of 2022. Earlier on Friday, in response to a question from TV6 News, National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines sought to make one thing clear about that process, while in the company of Acting Police Commissioner MacDonald Jacob.
It is the Independent Police Service Commission, and they will deal with all applications. Admittedly, at the end of the process, there's a parliamentary element.
On October 16th of last year, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said he had written directly to the Police Service Commission 3 times and highlighted one letter in particular that he sent while Gary Griffith was Police Commissioner.
That letter was a letter indicating to the Commission that as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I had lost confidence in the Commissioner of Police of Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Griffith, who launched his own political party after his contract ended, recently announced that he plans to reapply for the post of Police Commissioner. So if Mr. Griffith's name is among the nominations sent by the Police Service Commission to the President for submission to the Parliament for the job of Police Commissioner, would he get the government's support?
I don't know that the government expressed no confidence in anyone. What I do know is that the law of Trinidad and Tobago, as it relates to the appointment of a Deputy Commissioner of Police and a Police Commissioner, is very clear, and all those who feel that they have the qualification as listed in the job specs and the job description will apply and can apply.
Minister Hines then spoke about what he had identified as the parliamentary element.
Not the government, but the Parliament, 41 of us, under the procedure, must comment upon the nominees that would come from Her Excellency. It would be foolhardy of me, it would be unwise, it would be unprofessional to comment upon that before the matter does arise. So your question is burdensome and troubling, and that's as far as I can go.
The government commands the majority of the 41 seats in the lower house. The Police Service Commission said on Friday evening that it makes appointments for the posts of Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner of Police only after approval is received from the House of Representatives in accordance with Section 123, subsection 5 of the Constitution. The Commission also said it has designed and developed a recruitment process which is meant to ensure a fair and transparent procedure for the selection and appointment of the best candidate. The Police Service Commission also said it is now involved in the finalization of the performance appraisal report for the past Commissioner of Police, Mr. Griffith, and met with him on June 28th of this year to complete his performance evaluation for the period January to August 2021. Jewel Brown, TV6 News.
The cost of passports is expected to increase from $80 to $250 as the Immigration Department of St. Lucia gets set to introduce new e-passports. If all goes well, the new passports should be released at the end of July. Don Nicholas of the DBS News World reports.
Immigration expert Lucius Lake acknowledged that passport production on the whole is a tedious task as the Immigration Department strives to keep up to international standards. Sometimes this involves requiring passport holders to return with proper documentation for renewal. According to Mr. Lake, the machine-readable passport has outlived its usefulness, forcing the move to the new e-passport system. Applicants will now be able to go online and submit their information. However, the cost of the e-passport will increase from $80 to $250 to offset the cost of new security features installed.
The new price going forward will be $250.
And that is from what?
From $80 to $250.
Why this significant increase?
Number one, take into account the new hardware software, the new procedures put in. You have to take into account that the public key infrastructure and the public key directory that is going to be traded with the certificates, the government is already supplementing portions of it. And this is on par with some of the other Caribbean islands with the price of the passports in going forward.
The machine-readable passport will be valid until its expiration date. Baptism certificates have now been ruled out in favor of birth certificates for more reliable information. The Canadian Banknote Company is assisting with the new project in installing new state-of-the-art technology, such as high-speed scanners, to expedite the process of obtaining or renewing passports.
We have analyzed the situation. I was in December here, and we are putting in place the new system in the location that it's now, and we can accommodate the workflow that we have agreed with Mr. Lake and with the immigration experts. But a new improvement is coming. As Mr. Lake said, the technology is state-of-the-art. Everything is new. We have high-speed scanners. This will improve a lot the speed of processing documents.
At reception, applicants will be able to confirm their information on screen as part of the new procedures. For the DBS News World, I'm Don Nicholas.
Health officials in Guyana say they are actively working to address the prevailing shortage of psychiatrists in South America's only English-speaking country, considering deepening challenges with mental health among youth adults. Tamika Rodney of HGP Nightly News has some details.
When it comes to treating mental illnesses, Guyana is currently facing a significant shortage of psychiatrists. At present, there are approximately 6 psychiatrists tending to a population of over 100 persons confirmed to have mental illnesses in Guyana. While the scarcity of psychiatrists has existed for a number of years, governments are yet to find the ultimate solution. Nonetheless, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Narain Singh told Nightly News recently that the Ministry of Health is aggressively working to build capacity in other related fields to respond to the public health problem.
To supplement that efforts, we are doing some training with our medical officers under a program called MH Gap Training, where they're given training in mechanism basic and how to do basic treatment for mental health disorders, and those cases that can then be referred to the specialists. We're having clinics, outreach clinic in all the regions now. We're from central unit or the mental health unit or the psychiatric department are going to all the regions and having clinics on a regular basis.
He disclosed that a number of medical practitioners are being continuously trained to identify and refer cases of mental illnesses to the requisite experts.
Psychotherapy, counseling, and so on. So the mental health unit has been recently revamped. We are putting some more expertise inside our unit.
Tamika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Hubbard's Motor Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.